in a very complicated system. Most of you who are young like me, we were born into this system. But that's not what can allow Burkina to thrive. Because in this situation there are only two cases. Either we accept to fight or we remain slaves forever. I told you once, there are those who are slaves in their minds. They can only serve their master. And those people try every time to manipulate you. You must advise each other.
Within the hearts of many, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has made headlines with his bold assertion following recent threats from the United States regarding potential intervention in Burkina Faso. Capturing a sentiment shared by numerous citizens who prioritize national sovereignty, Traoré's message highlights the struggle faced by nations striving to assert their independence amid international pressures. Traoré, who has emerged as a prominent figure in Burkina Faso's political landscape following a coup last year, addressed the gravity of the situation facing his country in light of escalating tensions with the U.S. His statement serves as both a rallying cry and a stark warning: either we agree to fight for our country or we remain slaves forever. This expression encapsulates the urgency with which many Burkinabe people view their fight against external influences and internal strife. The backdrop of Traoré's remarks is essential to understanding the broader implications of U.S. threats. Burkina Faso, like many countries in the Sahel region, has faced increasing instability due to insurgent violence and the proliferation of extremist groups. In response to this unrest, the military junta led by Traoré has sought to strengthen its ties with Russia and other non-Western nations, creating friction with traditional Western allies, including the United States. The potential intervention suggested by U.S. officials raises questions not only about sovereignty but also about the effectiveness of foreign involvement in local conflicts. For many in Burkina Faso, Traoré's defiance is emblematic of a wider discontent with foreign influence, particularly from nations that have historically intervened in African affairs. The sentiment that external powers often impose their agendas at the expense of local governance and agency is a recurring theme in the continent's post-colonial narrative. In this context, Traoré's statement serves as an affirmation of the need for Burkinabe self-determination, a sentiment that resonates deeply across Africa, where nations strive to carve out their identities apart from historical colonial legacies. The situation in Burkina Faso is not isolated. It reflects broader trends across the African continent where many countries are navigating the complex dynamics of global politics. With the rise of alternatives to Western influence, such as partnerships with Russia and China, African leaders are exploring new pathways toward development and security. The stakes are high, and Traoré's insistence on a fight for freedom underscores the critical balance between self-governance and international diplomatic relations. Furthermore, Traoré's call to action is likely to galvanize support among the populace, who may view his stance as a necessary assertion of national pride. In a country where the sacrifices of past generations have woven a rich tapestry of resilience, there is a strong cultural imperative to protect that legacy against perceived threats. As the situation evolves, Captain Ibrahim Traoré's poignant words remind us about the importance of sovereign voices in the face of foreign threats. His statement symbolizes a critical juncture for Burkina Faso and reflects a growing movement across the continent that urges nations to reclaim their agency, ensuring that they fight for their autonomy rather than remain subordinate to external domination. Whether this will lead to an escalation in tensions or a path toward stability remains to be seen, but the clarion call for self-determination is more relevant than ever. In a significant development that has sent shockwaves through the West African region, the United States has issued a stern warning regarding the potential arrest of Ibrahim Traoré, the de facto leader of Burkina Faso. This statement has raised concerns about the stability of a nation that has faced considerable turmoil in recent years, and it signals the U.S. government's growing apprehensions regarding the trajectory of Burkina Faso under Traoré's leadership. Ibrahim Traoré, who seized power through a military coup in September 2022, has been a controversial figure in Burkina Faso's political landscape. His rise coincided with escalating violence from jihadist groups linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIS, undermining security and causing widespread displacement among civilians. Traoré's administration has struggled to address these security challenges, leading to a rising discontent among citizens who seek stability and safety. The U.S. government has increasingly scrutinized Traoré's actions, particularly those related to the international relations and the military alliances of Burkina Faso. Reports suggest that Traoré has fostered closer ties with Russia, raising alarm among Western nations. As countries across the globe re-evaluate their strategic partnerships, the U.S. has made it clear that it will not tolerate actions that threaten regional stability or contravene democratic principles. The implications of this warning are profound. The U.S. has threatened to take action if Traoré does not adhere to certain stipulations regarding governance and human rights, indicating that an invasion or military intervention is a possibility if diplomatic solutions fail. Such a move would not only destabilize Burkina Faso further but could also lead to significant regional ramifications, affecting neighboring countries already grappling with their issues. The situation has sparked a myriad of responses from various quarters. Advocacy groups and local political leaders have called for calm and have emphasized the need for dialogue. They argue that external threats could exacerbate tensions within the country, where citizens are already fatigued by years of instability and violence. The potential for external intervention raises fears of a repeat of previous conflicts in the region, where foreign involvement often complicated existing problems rather than providing solutions. In addition to the immediate security concerns, there is also the issue of humanitarian implications. The people of Burkina Faso have already endured significant hardships due to ongoing violence, food insecurity, and the displacement of over 1 million individuals. Any escalated military action could worsen these conditions, leading to further suffering among the population. The U.S. threat of arresting Ibrahim Traoré underscores the delicate interplay of power, security, and international relations in Burkina Faso. As the nation stands at a crossroads, the path forward will require careful navigation to promote stability while respecting the will of the Burkinabe people. The global community is watching closely, aware that the actions taken in the coming weeks and months could shape the future of not only Burkina Faso but the entire West African region.
Our country has long been in a very complicated system. Most of you who are young like me, we were born into this system. But that's not what can allow Burkina to thrive. Because in this situation there are only two cases. Either we accept to fight or we remain slaves forever. I told you once. There are those who are slaves in their minds. They can only serve their master. And those people try every time to manipulate you. You must advise each other. Because every situation can be exploited by these enemies of the nation to try to discourage you, to demotivate you. So, you must advise each other and not pay attention to certain remarks, even on some media. Not everyone is obliged to be patriotic. You are the first patriots. You have decided to defend the homeland. There is nothing better than that. Those who want to support you, let them support you. Those who want to discourage you through writings, you must close your ears and move forward. As for those, we will fight them here. So, we must remember something. Recently, there is a so-called NGO. It's not even an NGO. Because NGO stands for non-governmental organization. They are not non-governmental because they are funded by a federal budget, by a state. This so-called NGO produces reports claiming that the FDS and the VDP commit abuses. It went in here, it came out there. It's to tarnish your morale. It's to scare you, to prevent you from being able to fight. No. Moreover, we are going to file a complaint against this NGO People need to understand something. What is happening to us here? It's true that they have manipulated part of our populations in the Sahel here, but they didn't have that kind of weaponry. What brought such significant weaponry into their ranks? It's Libya. Who destroyed Libya? It's this NGO, the same NGO that made false reports and gave them to those who wanted to create a rebellion so that people would intervene and overthrow Gaddafi. And the powder keg ended up being poured into the Sahel. These millions of lives that have been taken in the Sahel, we must file a complaint against this NGO because it is responsible for these false reports it made to support this thesis of attacking Libya. They have no moral lessons to give us. Look at the world. Let them go defend human rights all over the world first before coming here. We are fortunate to have similar situations. In this world, you voluntarily committed yourselves. There are countries where people are forcibly taken, killed. You live or you die. Others, even while trying to flee, end up dying. They don't talk about human rights because these people see us as subhumans. They see us as slaves. That's how it is in their minds. They have never changed their mindset, but it's up to us to show them that we are not slaves and we will never accept this state of affairs. So don't be fooled by the stories they tell to anyone who will listen. You must stay focused on your fight. Stay focused. We know what we are doing. And even now, the VTP commander told me that there is a human rights training session underway for group leaders and their deputies. If we make efforts, we know it's for ourselves. We no longer do things to please someone else. We do it for our homeland. And you are committed to that. Defend your homeland. Do not listen to those individuals. They should not affect your morale. In the history of the world, there have been wars. And during the Second World War, people organized themselves to defend all over the place. But there is a country that could not defend itself, which had to come and take our ancestors to go defend them. And today that same country wants to give us lessons. The pot calling the kettle black. No. You are the descendants of those same ancestors who went to defend others. These same individuals dare to create terms to tarnish you. We oppose this. We will never agree. Continue to defend your lands. It is your wealth that interests these people. It's our gold, it's our minerals that interest them. Otherwise, why come and drive out entire villages to seize our lands? So we will fight and we will reclaim our lands, our wealth. It belongs to us. It's for us. It will benefit us and our children. I therefore encourage you to remember that this war is to free us from slavery. It's for our independence. And you must keep your spirits high, stay strong. Never give in to manipulators, to those individuals who no longer understand the notion of homeland, or to those people who come from outside to try to subdue us through their terms they invented and their organizations they created to enslave us. Fight, move forward, do everything you can. Draw, as I said, from your cultural resources, from what you have been shaped by since the village. Draw from it and wage this war. Stay focused and stay strong.